All right, here we go. The Flesh That Hates Part 4. Spooky season. Spooky season. Send me things to watch, guys. DM me on everything. Like I said, I'm setting something up that'll be able to kind of tunnel any requests you guys have. But feel free to DM me on anything. You know, I'm not too active on my other socials when it comes to like posting too much. On Instagram, I post memes all day. But, you know, Twitter and stuff, I still will reply to DMs. I'll post the occasional motivational thing here and there. But that's kind of a part of my commentary. So, yeah. But other than that, DM me on my socials if you have requests, leave them in the comments. And remember, guys, thank you for tapping in the frequency. Remember to be your authentic self. Love yourself, spread love. Let's hop in. Shout out to Mr. Illustrated, I think is on, because I know it used to be like SCP Illustrated, at least what I thought from some of the links I've seen on my older videos. But Mr. Illustrated, shout out. And yeah, man, 6110 or 6110, 6110, 610. The Flesh That Hates Part 4, and this is the final. So let's do it. All right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
So here we are, everyone, in the finale of SCP-610. I have thoroughly enjoyed this SCP, and I hope this final entry will bring this SCP to a satisfactory end. Now, L6 is expunged from the original file. However, I like to do my own additions to some of the SCP files, just to give it a bit more story, you know.
Some, like,
now, I understand that some of you won't like this interpretation, and that's perfectly fine, because everyone's entitled to their opinion. And this is just my interpretation. Anyway, let's get into this, and always, guys, thank you so much, and enjoy.
Let's do it.
SCP-610-L6, Exploration Records of Operation Source Point. File expunged. Data recovered. Administrator clearance accepted.
And I'm doing this right after the last episode. I just threw on a beanie, but I knew it was going to end like that, dude. You couldn't pay me. I don't know why they're not attacking some of these SCPs in these stories. Like, okay, because I'm definitely planning on to. I just don't know when, you know. It's definitely something I'm passionate about, and I'll spend like a night to a couple nights writing my own SCP. But to me, I don't know. I like stories where there's a logical way to. I like stories where sometimes the entity just can't be beaten. But with 610, if you're sending in like, I need to make a story where the SCP seems super dangerous and can do all these things, but has a very logical way of being defeated. I don't know. I kind of like stories like that. Like, it could be brought down with even like it was pure luck, but it has to be luck written in such a good way where it can't be like just plain old plot armor. But man, none of these what are they called again? None of like the Foundation personnel who get sent in to deal with these SCPs have a fucking chance, and I gotta give some of these guys a chance, man. I want to be, but that may be the charm to the lore, that like a lot of them are supposed to just be like straight up fodder. But I want to make a story where some of these soldiers get out or something, dude. And I mean, they were walking. Who walks into a cave of 610? Like, what? Couldn't pay me. This looks like it loses, at least.
The following comes from the video feed of the team members who fell into the river.
Hold on, that looked like that changed. Keter. Ooh. Biohazard and violence. Look at this. All right, here we go.
The following comes from the video feed of the team members who fell into the river and were washed away by the current.
Oh,
the team is stuck in the current for approximately 3 minutes before being washed further and further into the cave system. Eventually, the river begins to branch out into smaller cave systems, allowing the team to gain some footing and climb out of the river.
So they got 1 flame unit, 3. I don't know if this is just for the draw purposes of the drawing, but he seems like he stays pretty accurate. So we got 1 flame unit, 3 dudes with guns. All right.
1 researcher and 1 agent are unaccounted for in the footage. It is assumed they were lost down another tunnel. The team at this point is made up of several security agents, of which 2 carry working flame units. The team can hear gunfire in the distance, and it is assumed this is from the other assault team. Hereafter known as the River Team, note a significant increase in SCP-610 flesh growth on the cave surfaces now, making it hard to maneuver. The agents suggest the increase in growth means they may be nearing a source. The team decided to follow a slanting tunnel that had the biggest SCP-610 growth. After 5 minutes of difficult terrain navigation, the team find themselves in a huge cave filled with 610 entities.
Now, let me say this before it's about to kick off, because this looks like it's about to kick off. is I did just remember, like, they are going in with probably the briefing and everything that they may not come back from these missions, and they got to take care of it. So I understand that mindset too. Is like they're going in, some people are going to get lost, and it is what it is. You signed up for it, or I think some of them, I gotta go back and remember how like this all works, but I'm essentially throwing my own headcanon in there. I'm assuming they go in knowing that, like, all right, some of us are gonna die, but we got to do this to protect the world. Can't let these SCPs get out or get to be too much. We got to secure, contain, protect. But I forgot that they were going in to find a source, to locate a source. So yeah, some people are they're gonna be lost in the mission.
Every surface of the cave has big veins of 610 flesh running across it.
Oof.
There are structures like flesh columns protruding from the ground, identical to the structures seen by the damaged drone. In the center of the cave, suspended by angled supports, is a huge flesh sphere, 10 times larger than one seen topside by the D-class personnel. After some time, the sound of a bell is heard, and all the 610 entities appear to dissolve into the fleshy veins, leaving the room empty. It is presumed these flesh are going towards the church found in the previous L5 entry.
So I was right, that is how they're moving. Okay.
The team move towards the sphere, taking care to avoid the fleshy veins until they are directly under the mass. At this point, gunfire from the other team can be heard from above. The flame units move forward and begin torching the sphere with no effect other than scorching the side. The gunfire from above stops. It is presumed this is when the team above are all killed. 610's entities begin to grow again from the veins running across the room, filling the room once more. The team is engaged in fierce combat as the team is attacked from all sides. The team group together as the swarm gets closer underneath the mass. Grenades are thrown to try to disperse the group, however...
So that was just a grenade, dude? That was a grenade on the thumbnail image. It was just a grenade drawing.
Having little effect against the overall horde. Tendrils rip from the ground and begin restraining team members as 610 entities begin to overrun the team. The hooded figure appears again holding his scythe and approaching the restrained agents. The last still standing agent locks eyes with the entity, lowers his sidearm to point at the dead agent's flame unit fuel canisters, and fires. Audio and video feed from the agents is lost, however a huge spike in seismic activity was recorded at the same time as the video feed end. It is theorized that the explosion from the ruptured fuel tanks was sufficient to cause the sphere to combust and explode, killing all underground SCP-610 entities. The fate of the hooded figure is unknown. Since this action, there has been no further sightings of SCP-610 infected in the containment area. However, this SCP is still considered an active Keter threat, and the area is to be monitored in case of another outbreak.
Bro, monitor. You gotta get flame units on all possible known exits and entryways. Like, flame unit, just prepare, man.
Addendum. SCP-610-L6-1. Discussion with SCP-049 regarding SCP-610. We allowed you to look over the specifics of SCP-610. Can you give us any insight to what it might be? SCP-049 remains silent, however shows signs of overall discomfort from within its cell. What is SCP-610? Science requires sacrifice. Are you connected to SCP-610? I have been to many places, Doctor. I now have the cure to the Great Pestilence. However, my work was not without failure during its development. It was you! You made SCP-610! Science requires sacrifice, Doctor.
Whoa! That's a cool reveal. Ooh, that's a cool reveal.
Can SCP-610 be terminated? Surely for what you would call a successful cure, you would not want an inferior practice still around demeaning your work.
True.
It's hostile and dangerous. SCP-049 remains silent. The security team came in contact with a hooded figure. Here is a still image of it. An image of the hooded figure is projected into the containment cell. SCP-049 observes the projection and then turns away as if appalled. Who or what is that figure?
Is it supposed to be like the flesh was trying to find its maker, which would be him? That's some cool canon. That's like cool. Or was trying to make an image of like him, or he's like the Reaper, or maybe no connection to him at all, but he turns as if he's appalled. So was it trying to recreate him? Like made in his image?
Nothing. A memory and a relic, nothing more.
The scientist he worked with? A second 049-2 or 0450 or 050? Wait. Yeah.
Is the figure you? A manifestation of you somehow?
Yeah.
SCP-049 remains silent. Who is the figure? SCP-049 remains silent and does not answer any further questions. Given the testimony by SCP-049, it is suspected that SCP-049 created SCP-610 during experimentation prior to containment. How long SCP-610 remained dormant before manifesting in the Russian villages is unknown. The identity of the hooded figure is inconclusive. It is suspected it could be some version or manifestation of SCP-049 in an
That's what I'm thinking too, dude. This dude thinks like me. I like that as a headcanon.
unknown form. However, this is only speculation and there is little evidence to support this. Final word of 05-4. Enough blood has been spilled over this SCP. No further explorations are to be attempted into the containment area of SCP-610. SCP-049 is not to be implemented with SCP-610 for undisclosed reasons. This file is to be expunged from the records. Thank you all so much for being with me for this mini-series. I really hope you've enjoyed it as much as me. Next will be SCP-999 with colour. That's right, I'm going to try and bring some colour to some of these videos now. However, I'm going to be taking a couple of days off now because 610 was such a huge file. I just need a couple of days to re-energise, you know. 999 should be up in a week or so maybe. As always, be sure to check out the social media for updates, and if you can't wait that long, please become a patron to support me. You will get access to the pictures as they are drawn, early access,
Some stuff. But alright, that concludes SCP-610. Sick. Dude, I like the canon he put in at the end, his own canon of how it was to wrap up, because that's what that reveal that like 049 is involved, and I don't know if it was in the two, like if that was brought into the two earlier parts. I would have to go back and check. I don't know if 049 like gave some consulting during it, maybe in the early episodes, and then they ended up figuring out in part 4 that, like, I don't know if like the first two parts were the actual like lore and 49 was already involved. Again, I'd have to go back and look, but that's cool that it's revealed that 49 could have made it, and that the hooded figure was, I didn't even connect that like at first, that this hooded figure in the last part was like, that's so cool. Like, that's why I'm like, wow, I forgot all about 049. But 049 is like one of the like poster boys of the SCP Foundation. I also want to say this too, for those of you who know, is SCP-049 strong? Like, is it hard to contain SCP-049? Because it isn't if he touches you, you're like dead pretty much. I don't remember. But is he hard to contain? I can't remember. Or is he willingly contained? Or does he literally, I forgot what the whole thing behind him is. But nonetheless, I think it's very cool that that hooded figure with the scythe could have been a manifestation of him. If it's almost like the flesh, if he created the flesh, and he's, you know, kind of dropping some context like, oh, you know, the sacrifice, you know, some experiments just don't go well, you know, whatever, you know, furthering medical advancements require sacrifice, you know. It's like, that's cool. It's almost like he made a Frankenstein that is trying to find its master. It's trying to make all this like, well, the whole flesh isn't the whole part. The whole thing wasn't centered around that robed guy. It kind of like the focus shifted on him towards the end, but from what I remember from the 2 episodes, and then even like, or that very very fleeting thought, and then the last episode I just watched was kind of that. The whole idea is that it's all over the place, and it's just this fleshy mass that, you know. And maybe like part of the Frankenstein's memories, or maybe his its memory has memory of him. Like, it became sentient to a degree where it remembers him creating it. So it made a figure that is important to it that just roams around. But I would be able to kind of explain this a little bit better if it was actually centered on this hooded figure, but it's not. So it's hard to say, like, it's just completely a Frankenstein trying to find its master, and because that manifested robed figure is there, it's him. It's hard for me to say that, but it is cool to theorize that for sure. But since 610 kind of was like this alien or like organic matter that was kind of just multiplying itself and everything, I feel like it manifesting him is just like a small part though still of it, but it's still cool. But the one thing I was trying to tie all together was that it's all based around him. That would be my like headcanon. It's all based around him. It's like a science experiment gone wrong, and then the flesh is trying to do all this to honor him. But because the hooded figure didn't get a lot of camera time, it doesn't feel like it's that. It just feels like it could be an off image in its head that it's recreating. That's good timing, because that is the end of the video. Dog starts barking. Anyways, much love in Moonlight. I'll see you on the next one. And remember, send me any videos you guys want me to watch. I'm out. Peace.